they would either speak to mankind or damage mankind. The Arabic text can be read two ways. If it's being spoken, of course, we know exactly what it is. But when it's not spoken and it's written, then they put in these diacritical marks, fatha and kesra and dhamma. And you can change it around because this didn't come from Allah. This is human beings. So they wrote it, the Dabbatul Ard tukallimuhum, would speak to mankind. And I said, I want to take that with a pinch of salt, because I still have a mind with which to think. Speaking to mankind? The other one is taklimuhum, would injure you and damage you. I said, that makes more sense to me. So I have departed from this. The overwhelming majority of the scholars of Islam and the Muslims accept that one. So they will have to solve their problem. I can't solve it for them. But because I accept that the Quran is saying that the Dabbatul Ard will damage you, this one makes a lot of sense. Similar with the one that I began, that the sign of all signs of the last day, وَإِنَّهُ لَعَلَمٌ لِلسَّاعَةِ. But they say no. وَإِنَّهُ لَعِلْمٌ لِلسَّاعَةِ. He's the knowledge of the hour. I say, you got trouble. When you say that Jesus, alayhi salam, is the knowledge of the hour, and Allah says, no, the knowledge of the hour is only with me. So this one is transparently false. That every single copy of the Quran you pick up today, they have put in, and he is the knowledge of the hour, when it should be, he is a sign of all signs of the hour. I've given you two instances where it's not the Quran which has been changed. Don't you make that mistake of saying that Imran has said someone changed the Quran, because you should be thrown into a garbage bin for speaking such a falsehood about me. It's not the Quran which has changed. It is the diacritical marks, the fatha and the kesra and the dhamma, which were not there in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. There was no fatha and kesra and dhamma. It is when non-Arabs entered in the ummah to help us to read the Quran, they put in the fatha and kesra. So who put it in? The human beings put it in. And human beings can do good things and can also do bad things.
And so he's saying you can read the Quran in the way to where it means, like, for example, speaking or to cause damage, or you can read the Quran in the other verse when it has to do with Jesus, and is he the sign, or is he the knowledge of the last hour? And he's saying, look, without the diacritical marks, you can really read it either way.
In our present situation, we lay a great emphasis on preserving the Quran letter for letter, word for word, because we want to make sure that nobody's going to change it. In the time of the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, the most important impetus was to ensure that the message of the Quran would be absorbed and put into practice and taught to others. So the precise words, which are the vehicles through which the important teachings are being disseminated, were not so important. The teachings were important, but the precise words to preserve them were not of paramount importance. They did not trump in importance the need for the message of the Quran to be absorbed, to be practiced, and to be taught by others. And in fact, if the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, had insisted on his followers that they should pay due importance to the wording of the Quran to get every letter and sound correctly, then that may have detracted from the focus on getting the message across and implementing that in the lives of new Muslims. So with all of the challenges that the community faced in that early phase, it was important for the Muslims to focus on the meaning and the message and to circulate that. So one Muslim would go tell another one, look, we got a new teaching in the form of the Quran. The other one is asking, what does the Quran say? And then he repeats the saying and the teaching of the Quran without necessarily getting precisely the same words in which they were first delivered by the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace. So there was this period in which Muslims had the opportunity to teach others the Quran without insisting on the precise word.
All right. Is Shabir correct? Is he right